understanding the power of being a black woman. And my apology, Miss, nothing has to do with Rex. But what I wanted to say here is, as black women, we have to constantly lift each other up, however we can do it. We should never be part of breaking each other. We should be supportive of one another in any way we can, in any shape we can. And so today, my name is Dr. Bello, and I have a passion for education. So I have a passion for education. So I have a PhD in social work, a master's in social work, and also a bachelor's of social work. I started as a nurse in this country. When I came here newly as a new immigrant, among all our community, they say nursing is the way, nursing is the way, nursing is the way. So I went to school and I became a nurse, an LPN. I worked in nursing for almost 12, 13 years. And after a while I felt, oh, this is just too hard. I need something that is easy, whereby I can have time with my kids, I can have time with family, I can do things within the community. So I went back to school. And I went back to school, I started from Bachelor's of Social Work. I was actually in my 30s, almost like my late 30s. And when I told my friends that we worked together, that I'm going back to school, they thought it was a joke. They're like, what? You make so much money, you're gonna go to school, how are you gonna do it? I said, watch me. And so I finished in Bachelor's of, it was actually an honors bachelor, and then for those of you that went to honors, you know what honors mean. I'm not going to go into that details. After that, I went into the master's program. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 2 is false. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 3, can I hear? Number 3 is true. So if your group says true, you got it right. Number 4 is false. So if your group says false, you got it right. Number 5 is true. So if your group says true, then you got it right. Number 6 is true. If your group says true, you got it right. Number 7 is false. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 8 is true. If your group says true, you got it right. Number 9 is false. If your group says false, you got it right. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 2 is false. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 3, can I hear? Number 3 is true. So if your group says true, you got it right. Number 4 is false. So if your group says false, you got it right. Number 5 is true. So if your group says true, then you got it right. Number 6 is true. If your group says true, you got it right. Number 7 is false. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 8 is true. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 2 is false. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 3, can I hear? Number 3 is true. So if your group says true, you got it right. Number 4 is false. So if your group says false, you got it right. Number 5 is true. So if your group says true, then you got it right. Number 6 is true. If your group says true, you got it right. Number 7 is false. If your group says false, you got it right. Number 8 is true. If your group says true, you got it right. Number 9 is false. If your group says false, you got it right. And number 10 is true. If your group says true, you got it right. And for those that did the other section, ladies, okay, sorry. Let's hear this. For those that did the second part, let's go quickly to the answer. And at least one person from your group should I'll just go the numbers and then you just check them. So 11 is B, 12 C, 13 B, 14 C, 15 B, 16 B, 17 B, 18C, 19B, and 20C. So you've got over 16 and plus. You got 16 to 20. You got 16 to 20. Okay. You got 16 to 20. So every place, I am so proud of each and every one of you, and you should be proud of yourself because you did it. So because we shared the question, we're going to share the gift. Everybody gets a gift. Everybody gets a gift. So if I give it one on each table, one for each group. So you all share. It's a shareable gift. It's a shareable gift. It's a shareable gift. Everybody gets to share. So just like you share the question, nobody got it. There was no I in team, right? Everybody worked together to share. Okay, so we have a lot of smart cooking in this house, which is good. I'm so proud. We're talking about stress, and I'm gonna be explaining a few things when it comes to stress and how stress can translate to trauma, and how trauma can translate to stress. And the impact of stress, when we look at ourselves from that place of what we do every day. How many people are mothers in this room? Proud of you, proud of you, proud of you. And how many of you are working? Even you're a mom, you're still working. Almost everybody is still working as a mother. So we know the work we do as a mother is a full-time job. So there's not enough. Okay, so for this group, just share. For the table, just share. Okay. Let's start this way. Oh, we have people sharing. Nice. There's chocolate here too. You can just share. If one person from your group open it, put it at the table, let people just that's okay. All right. So we answered what is stress. We just answered the question about stress, and I see that a lot of people are in that place of knowing what is stress and understanding what is stress. So stress is just the way our body responds to things. So for example, we have stress that is good. How many of you have children that will be graduating either high school, university this coming June? Congratulations to you all. That adds a stress because you have to think of the dress, you have to think of the timing, everything. And the kid might say, I don't want that dress, I want a dress I found online and it's somewhere in the US and you have to travel to go get it. That could be stressed in so many ways. And as people, let me use the mic. I think, can everyone hear me though before I use the mic? Can everyone hear me? Yes. Maybe I should drop the mic. Thank you. They asked me to drop the mic, so it's not my fault. So we can have like short-term and chronic stress. So the one that happens when your daughter is about to get married and you're running around, you're doing everything possible to make sure the day is a beautiful day, to make sure you look good, or you're about to get married yourself and you're going to the gym, you're doing exercises to fit in that wonderful dress you want to wear. Those can be stress, but they're just short-term. They can, after the whole event is gone, you can go and say, oh, thank God it's all over, or whatever you say. So that could be short term. But then we have the one that could be long term, very chronic, that could become something else, and it's not going away. So we have like those ones, we call them the useful ones, the short term ones. They're very protective. We need stress to be able to move from one thing to another. We need that adrenaline to rush. We need to get going. We need to get going. We need that stress to wake up in the morning and do our routine and get to drive and go to work. We need some push. But those are also very motivating stress. If your daughter is getting married, like I said, or if your child is graduating from school, and you're like, oh, the graduation day, all of those things, there's a lot of motivation in those ones. And they're very helpful for the body. But the one that we see as the bad one is the chronic stress, which goes for a long time. It's an activation of stress response that keep going and keep going and keep going. You've done everything, you find that you cannot even shake it off. It's really, really so hard to shake it off. And stress could be normal, but when it's now prolonged, it's no longer good. It becomes very bad for the body. And what we see when people now seek therapy, because I'm a therapist, when people come in and they are talking about what they're going through, you see that didn't start yesterday. It's been going for long. They've been dealing with it, they've been coping, they've been trying, but after a while they can't do it anymore. Then they had to drop the mic like I did. Like, I'm done. I'm done, I can't do this anymore. So that's the type of stress we're talking about. How those things affect us as humans, and how those things affect us as women, how those things affect us as mothers. When Joy was talking about intimate partner violence, and I was sitting down there and I was just thinking, that was my research topic. And I did interview like almost 20 women here in Edmonton. And they talk about so much stories that happened to them that it broke me down. After I finished my research, I went into what I call vicarious stress of those women's stories that I listened to. And these are women that are your neighbors. These are women that you go to churches with. These are women that you do things with. These are your sisters. They are living in this city and they're going through cruel IPV. Intimate partner violence is real. It's real. It could be your neighbor. It could be someone you know so well. It could be your coworker. Someone that you even take your kids to dance or whatever program together. They're living under vicarious stress. They're carrying that burden of stress that they don't even know where to dump it, who to dump it to. They don't have trust. They don't trust anyone. They don't think anyone can actually help them. And if you say, oh, I can listen, can you? That's a question. It becomes very difficult. So stress has a limit. Stress is normal, but it has a limit. And I tell you, as women, we have a lot of physiological thing going on that actually hold on to stress. The body keeps the score. The body keeps the score. You're being slapped today, it stays there. It doesn't go away. You're being kicked today, it stays there, it doesn't go away. So we'll look at that. What is stress? Stress is just the cumulative of all those things that we've been, Ms. Joy talked about, and compounding even more. And it becomes very chronic if it's not being dealt with. And then we look at trauma. So trauma is what happens when stress overwhelms a person. When we look at that trauma, as black people, as people that have gone through colonization, we have some kind of epigenetic trauma, which is not the content of today. But when we constantly, continuously expose ourselves to so many things, it's like your body kind of calls onto those epigenetic, those ones that has been so benign, that is not talking, that's there. You inherited from your parents, you inherited from your ancestors. they come to play. But then, it's not by event. The impact on the nervous system can be very, very, very quite quick. Like you can be in a situation where even trauma at work, some of us as people of color, we deal with a lot of traumatic experience at work. Harassment is traumatic. Harassment, bullying at workplace, being belittled, being called names, being looked at, being looked down on by coworkers, being undermined could lead to so many stress. A lot of people are carrying that harassment stress, whereby you're going to work every day and you're thinking, wow, am I going to, you're like ready. I'm going to defend myself today. I'm ready to defend myself. It's very stressful carrying all those things as human. So it can be a single event accumulated over time. That is trauma. The body response, being very overwhelmed, it becomes trauma. When stress is really too much, it now leads to that traumatic memories where the body starts to remember everything that you've gone through. So you can say trauma makes you, it's like trauma is like that radio that turns things on, that turns it on when there is a lot of like frequency or current, for lack of a better word. So the relationship between stress and trauma. So all trauma involves stress. All traumatic experience involves stress, but not all stress becomes trauma. So even though we're talking about stress today, we still have to put that definite ways to say not all traumatic experience, not all stress becomes trauma, but trauma can involve a lot of stress. Like when you look at people, like a lot of people that are fighting for their freedom, like the indigenous people fighting through this truth and reconciliation, all the things that they've told them, all the things that the panel came up with. They say, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. And it's like they're fighting also to even get Canadian government to do those things. That could also become like that stress itself. There's a lot already intergenerational trauma, and now it's now compounding with all the other things they had to deal with. So the bridge is like the chronic stress can mirror and become trauma. Like when Ms. Jo was talking about intimate partner violence, when the woman constantly, continuously stays in that relationship, and to be honest with you, it's not easy to leave an abusive relationship. If people say, why can't she leave? Why can't she leave? It's not easy. There's a lot that is tied to it. There's a lot that is attached to it. And if you know anyone today that is going through domestic violence, please don't advise them to stay and pray. Please, don't say pray. Prayer cannot solve any problem. Don't say stay. God will say, do not say that. God cannot do anything. Don't give them that advice. Tell them to take care of themselves. Take care of yourself. Do what is best for you. Don't advise any sister to stay in an abusive relationship. You're the culprit. You're also an abuser if you advise any sister to stay in an abusive relationship. So stress becomes more dangerous when it is prolonged, unpredictable, uncontrollable, experienced without support. So like you're now going through this prolonged stress, you're dealing with it, you've gone to see a doctor, he's giving you medication, you've taken different medication, you've taken SSRI, you've taken anti-anxiety, you've taken so many things, but it's not leaving. And then it becomes very unpredictable. So that is where the cardiovascular diseases can really hide in, and all of a sudden, we were on the bus one day when I used to live in Montreal. I was on the bus going to work one day, and this gentleman he came on the bus, he sat next to us, and I was in nursing that time, and a few of my colleagues were just talking. And then he just sat down there, and he sat down like, and he died. Oh. Right there on the bus. So we like, what? And then the next thing is like, he slumped to the person next to him. That was when they knew he was dead. And by the time the bus stopped, 911 came, everything, they checked everything. And even one of my colleagues was like, we're trying to do like resuscitation and all that stuff. It didn't work. So he was gone. And those are the impact we see when there is like a long, prolonged stress, uncontrollable stress. Like things that you go through without support become something that could take your life so young. And we don't want anyone dying so young. We want us all to live long. So we look at allostatic load. That is that cumulative wear and tear on the nervous system. So like Dr. Gabor Mate talks about the body keeps the score. And Dr. Van der Kolk talks about it too. So I use, in my therapy, I use this analogy of explaining to people about it. So when it's like a bucket. Every stressor has water. And then when the bucket overflows, burnouts happen, emotional dysregulation, physical illness, vulnerability to trauma, it's like you now have that compounded. And that is when also another researcher described it as you carrying this load of a backpack that is filled with rocks. Imagine someone have a backpack and they put so much rock in that backpack and they say carry it, and you're going like, people are like, why is he walking like that? Because definitely you can't walk straight if there's too much you're carrying. So a lot of us, when we look at our stress, we need to start asking the question, where is my stress coming from? Why am I always feeling this way? So the body acclimates what the mind tries to push away. So the body keeps the score. Anytime someone says something to you that makes you feel sad, your body holds it. So imagine your body is like a computer. How many of you have computer at home? You have computer. I guess everybody has computer. Right? So you download something on the website. You download it. You save it. And then you download another thing, you save it. You download another thing, you save it. And then maybe one day, one document you downloaded, you're looking for it. You're like searching. I did download that document. I just didn't know where I put it. So for the life of your computer, every download, every upload stays in that computer. Same goes to your body. Everything that you're going through, everything you've been through, the one that you went through as a child, which we're not going to talk about those adverse experiences, the one you went through as a child, the one you went through as an infant, a teenager, your body keeps that score. And it could be, it just needs just one crazy event to all of them to now come out. So like this. So now you're looking for one document on your computer. All of a sudden, it either collapses or all these other documents just come up. I'm like, oh, where did all this come from? Oh my goodness. That's what happens in the moment that the body cannot take it anymore. And that is when some people had to be from 10 to the hospital. That's when some people need to go see doctor. Or that's when some people need to go to Alberta Hospital. We have a lot of our sisters that have been taken to the Alberta Hospital in the last few months because they're going through some mental psychosis. They don't have mental illness, but there's something they're going through that their body cannot take anymore. The brain cannot take it anymore. So, it's a part of the human brain, and I'm not going to bore you with all this story today, but I just want to talk about this one here, which one I call the amygdala. The fear center of the brain that also control our emotion, our behavior. So when we have fear all the time, we have our amygdala fired up all the time. Like hip, 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 like the lizard brain. That's why you see a lot of time, even before someone attacks you, like you're ready to attack them. Like they say something, you're ready. Like, oh my God, that woman, she's a fire. She was it. You can't even get past her, she's ready to fight you. No, she's not normal. The amygdala is fired up, and she's not able to control it. And so, it's the fear center of the brain. It's very helpful when we need to do very heavy tasks, but it's not helpful to be activated all the time. And that's why we see when the stress is not controllable. So I won't go into the science of this today, but it is something that I just want people to be aware of. So what happens in the body when now there is that amygdala is fired up. We have the nervous system stuck in survival mode, survival all the time. That's when you're driving, someone cuts up and what the hell? You're cussing them out. You're driving and then you're driving so raging. You're like road raging. You're like, what is wrong with people in Edmonton? They don't know how to drive. And then you will talk till you get to your destination. Not even listening to something nice, something calming. Some radio, some music, some meditation. You're just like, and then you get to work. You're like, did you see? Did you see the Edmonton Road? And people are like, well, I just drove on it too. I don't know. Nobody knows how to drive in this city. And you're complaining so hard. Why? Because your body is just in that fight and flight mode. You're just ready to like get and then. On Sunday you go to church and say, Father, I am sorry. So the survival brain, the amygdala, that overreaction, we call it the lizard brain, where it's like pop, 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 and you would see, if anyone's amygdala is fired up, you will see everybody's mistake except yours. That's true. Sister, did you see what she did? Did you see how she looked at me? She gave me the bad look today. And then you're walking around, it's like everybody just looking at me as if I did something wrong. No one's looking at you. No one cares about you. You're just the one that just wants to, because you're just in that fight and flight mode. So we have the thinking brain, that is the prefrontal cortex. It goes off when the amygdala is. So you can't have both working at the same time. That's how our brain is so beautiful, by the way. And as humans, we always have to really remember our brain and also give gratitude to our brain for our brain giving us what we are able to do. You won't be able to sit here if your brain has given up on you. Think about it. So the prefrontal cortex goes offline when your number. Don't be afraid. Like, I like you. I want to be your friend. Can I have your number? What's the word they can say? Exactly. To round up, healing is not about eliminating stress. It is about restoring the nervous system capacity to feel safe, connected, and in control again. You are not broken. You're responding. So the journey from survival to safety begins with one thing: awareness. And so I want to thank you all for listening to me and my ranting.